My stepfather, who raised me for over 30 years, passed away, and my half-siblings are trying to cut me out. I'm sorry to hear that. Can they? I mean, it all depends, right? I was told that there is a will that is 30 years old and I'm the executor, but my adopted siblings have it. I have not seen it. I know they're going to go through probate and they're not telling the probate lawyer that there is a will. What can I do? Am I entitled to anything? First off, when your parents remarry and you have step-parents, you are not legally the step-parent's heir or child unless they legally adopt you. So did your stepfather adopt you, or did your stepfather put out while you were a minor child? Were you living with him and he put out that you're his daughter? There's ways where there could be kind of a equitable adoption, as we call it. But that's only if you were living with him as a minor child throughout your life, and then he continued to persist in telling people and treating you like his actual child. That's pretty hard to prove, especially in court, but that is kind of your avenue for the adopted children or other kids in the family who are opening a probate. That can be your avenue to becoming an heir. If your stepdad had not adopted you at all or had put out to the world consistently for the rest of his life that you are his child, then you're not an heir to his estate. And yeah, that means you're going to rely on whatever his will says. Just because you're not an heir, his will can give money or assets to anybody. But if you don't have a copy of the will, if no one has a copy of the will and you can't prove it, that someone has the copy of the will, then there's essentially no will, right? So if the other kids, the other family members have the will and you know that you were named as an executor, who's the one that told you this? Was it your stepdad? Why didn't he tell you where the will is? Why didn't he give you a copy of the will if he named you as an executor? Was it one of the kids? Did they blurt it out accidentally at the dinner table that you're the executor? So these are questions that you've got to look into and you got to kind of probe and prod. And whoever told you, you find out where they found out from, and then you can counter any probate petition telling the judge there is a will, they're just not showing it. And you can get people subpoena. What does it mean? It means you're going into a full court battle. You're going to have an evidentiary hearing. You're going to bring in witnesses. You're going to try and convince the judge that there is a will and the other family members are not producing it because it's detrimental to their beneficiary interests. So they've got a whole problem themselves. And then from there, see if you can get it to show up. Worst case scenario, even if you convince the judge can only do so much, might include you as an heir, might penalize the other heirs for lying to the court, but without actually producing the will, there's no way a court will ever be able to believe anything you say without that document. So there are options. It's not going to be cheap to do. It's going to take some time, but this is the problem with wills. When the original will or no copy is available anywhere, we can't do anything, and it's the court's job to remain neutral. So let this be a learning lesson for you and everyone else watching, that when you create a will, let people know where it is. Let multiple people know where it is. If you want to create copies. And if you ever change your will, make sure you write down who you gave a copy to and let them know you've made an amendment, or let them know you created a whole new will. Personally, this is why I like creating trusts. Trusts are a lot more efficient and easier to handle outside of court. They're not easier to create. Creating them takes a little bit more effort, time, and money. But right once you have a trust, you're a lot stronger with your estate plan. And that's only if your attorney is not focusing on just giving you legal documents, but helping you create a comprehensive plan, notifying your trustees, notifying your fiduciaries, keeping everything organized for you, making sure people have copies of this stuff, right? And hey, what are you doing? My cat wants to listen and see what's going on. She's interested in this. But yeah, that's fundamentally it. So as always, if you have any questions whatsoever, please send them to us. You can message us on Facebook, email me at info@skyunlimited.law. We'll be happy to answer them here for you for free, just to make sure that you're well educated. And then let us know if we can be in any help. Take care and happy holidays.